Welcome back. We're joined now by head football coach Mike Whalen, and he's going to take us through this last weekend's game. It was a close one, right down to the wire for the Cardinals. And Coach, you guys ended up coming up with the win, 31-28. And as everyone's talking around campus about, it's the first time the football team's 3-0 since 1998. What's the significance of that for the program at this point in the season?
Well, I think our initial goal this year was, our first phase of the season, as we've talked about, has been to win 5 games, and so obviously this game was important. This one was one that we felt as a football program we could win, and going up to Colby and playing at their place is always a tough place to play, and I give a lot of credit to Coach Michaels and his staff. They did a great job preparing for us, and they gave us a few new wrinkles that we hadn't seen in their first 2 games. 2 things that they did in particular were, number one is they played several players both ways. They've had some injuries. The numbers are low. They have a couple of veteran senior players, and those kids made plays for them on both sides of the football. And then the second thing they did that we really hadn't prepared for is they ran the quarterback. He was definitely much more involved in the game plan in the running attack than he had been in the previous 2 games. So those 2 wrinkles were very good coaching points that they did a great job with, and then they just typically, as Colby teams do, they just were very, very physical. They were much more physical on the defensive side, in particular in the front 7, and I think our kids were taken back by that a little bit. Our run game in the first 2 games was, we were getting big chunks of yardage, and we weren't getting that on Saturday. And I think you'll have Ladarius on a little bit, and he can talk to you a little bit about that. But his yards were well-earned yards, and probably what was most amazing about his performance was that he didn't have a full week of practice under his belt because he was still coming back from the injury. His yards after contact in that game, if you broke down that game and really recorded his yards after contact, was amazing. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the quarterback for Colby. He had over 100 yards rushing as well as having another good game passing. In a game where we didn't have the lead until pretty much the last minute, how a game like that where you're struggling, you're coming back constantly, and to come through with the victory, moving forward in the season, what type of impact do you think that'll have on the teams?
Well, I think it's definitely it's a real positive. I mean, although as coaches, there was a lot of things we felt we could have done better in the game. We certainly didn't start the game off the way we would have liked on either side of the football. But probably the most interesting thing from my perspective was really the third quarter, and we were 14-14, and we had driven the ball down inside the 10-yard line, had the ball first and goal, and we threw a slant ball, and it got tipped, and their kid intercepted it, and he tried to run it out, and he got it out to like the 5-yard line, and so we still had them deep in their own territory, and we had them in a 2nd or 3rd and long situation, and the same kid who intercepted the ball in the end zone now came in and played receiver, ran a takeoff. We missed the tackle, and it turned into a 95-yard touchdown. So that was quite a swing of momentum. Here we are right on the doorstep going to score, and we don't. They get the interception, then they come out and score with a big play. In previous years, that would have been the end. We would have not come back from that. And what we did was we got the ball back, and we threw the first play from scrimmage. We made a 74-yard play to Kevin Hughes on a big pass play from Jesse Warren, and all of a sudden we were back. And I think that was a real critical sequence of plays for our football season this year, because that really, I think, instilled in the kids, hey, we can make big plays. We're a football team that's still learning, still getting better. We're going to give up some big plays. We're going to make some big plays. But as long as we keep our head in the game and we continue to work hard, good things can come.